Hey, good morning, everybody. Wow, that's bright behind me. So I will disclose my location in a minute. But I'm outside, and there may be some interference noise, but just hang in there with me. And then I'll copy this over to our other location. So it's good to see everybody this morning, Monday morning. Here in this area that I'm at, it's a little rainy and overcast this morning, a little cold, not quite feeling like spring just yet. So you'll see why in a minute. So this morning I was looking over my notes and reflecting on things that I've read from Luke as we continue in the book of Luke for our Jesus time this morning. And in chapter 4, after his temptation, Jesus begins his ministry. And it always was interesting to me that the first place he goes is back to his kind of home turf. In chapter 4, verse 14, it said that Jesus returned in the power of the Spirit to Galilee, which is where he was raised, the area that he grew up. And a report about him went out throughout all the surrounding country, and he taught in their synagogues, and he was glorified by all. And then it says that he went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and it was his custom, so that he went to the synagogue on the Sabbath day, and he stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was given to him, and he unrolled the scroll, and he found the place where it was written. And he said that the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, and to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of their Lord's favor. And he rolled up the scroll and he gave it back to the attendant, and he sat down, and everybody was just in awe of what they had just heard and seen. And he says, as they're looking at him kind of with their mouth open, he says, "Today this scripture has been fulfilled in your hearing." And it was back in his hometown and the place that he grew up that he went to really kind of publicly announce that the Messiah was here and that he was on the scene, right? And so it just has always made me wonder, like, because we later find out just right after that he's not able to do the same types of miracles in his hometown that he does in other places. People don't really believe in him as much there. It's a little bit harder for them to come to grips with him as a Messiah when they saw him as just another regular guy growing up or a kid growing up in town. And so there's challenges about him and other prophets or preachers or teachers, like, going to their hometown. And I think it's the common thing that a lot of us face, right? Like, there is this wasn't the case for Jesus, of course, but for most of us, there's the who we were before Christ and then who we are after Christ oftentimes. And a lot of times it's a different person. And if we look back, we could even say that it feels a little bit like a different life sometimes. And so I just thought it's interesting to me, and it's one of those things that just gets me thinking of all the places he could have gone, of all the areas Jesus could have proclaimed kind of his ministry beginning, that he went back to his hometown. And it just got me thinking about it again as well. Last night, my son, our oldest son that does construction, his job in Seattle was closed down because of the COVID stuff. And so he's in Post Falls, Idaho on a job. And a couple of my other kids live in the area as well, and my granddaughter. And so I was able to come up last night and spend the night and hang out with the kids and see my son. And we went for a drive last night and jumped in the car, and kind of he and I just went down memory lane, and we came out and drove by places that we used to live. And we came to this place right here, which is a place that we have a lot of memories as a family. This is the playground behind John Brown Elementary School in Rathdrum, Idaho. And so we spent a lot of time when the kids were little playing on this particular playground. Their classrooms were right here. And as we drove around and spent time around town, we just had a lot of fun reflecting on kind of where we came from and how much different our lives are now. And just kind of a fun time with him now as an adult at 28 years old to go down memory lane. And of course, I heard some stories of things that he did that are those stories that you're not supposed to know about until your kids are way older. So it was good that he waited this long to tell me some of those stories. But we had some laughs and we had some fun. And I mean, just even as we look at this, I can recall playing with them when they were in second and third and fourth and fifth and sixth grade, and then behind us over here, the junior high and high school. Just a lot of great memories as a family. And I think like Jesus, it's important to remember where we came from, and to sometimes go back to those places that helped shape us and make us, and had influence on who we were and how kind of how we've turned out, who we've become. And so I would say the kind of Devo thought for the morning is spend some time reflecting on where you grew up, kind of what shaped you, what was significant, substantial about who you became as a Christian, who influenced you, kind of what are some of those mile marker moments that played into who you are and how you became a Christian, and just reflect on those and thank God for the memories that you have and the things that have helped shape you and pointed you to Christ. So enjoy, everybody. Have an awesome Monday morning, and who knows where I'll be tomorrow morning, but tune in at 8 and I guess you'll find out. So God bless everybody. Have an awesome week.